Hey, welcome back to the Outrun Garage. This is the last week. We have 5 working days, and on the 6th day is our show. We are going like crazy. We're still fabricating. We're still doing body work. We haven't even begun to think about paint. I don't know. Anyway, we're glad you guys came by. Check out what we're doing. I'm doing some fabrication on the metal brake. I'm building some little panels for the bottom of the doors where we found rust, of course. And so I'm going to show you a little bit of that. I'm going to cut it up, slice it up, bend it up. I'll show you one that I already bent, and then I'll show you one as I'm building it. So anyway, then Gabriel, he's going to be doing some more body work today. We're hoping to finish body work today. Benito, boy.
Today is maybe.
If we work till midnight, maybe we'll do that. Get primer on it in the morning and start painting. Anyway, appreciate you guys coming by. Check it out. That shape right there, each one of those bends we did on the metal brake over here. So I have some metal off from an old 67 Camaro hood. I would like to have new metal, but I don't have new metal. So it is what it is. So we chop up what we have. Anyway, we're chopping this thing up. It's 3 inches wide, turns into that right there. So let me show you what we're doing. All right, the piece where I'm trying to use has a ridge through it. So I'm going to try and straighten it out a little bit so I don't have to flip and chop and do much more work. So we'll see. All right, we'll reflatten it afterwards, but right now we got to get some measurement. So it'd be so much easier just with a shear, and I happen to have a stomp shear, but my friend Adam Kreutz the other day came over and used it and broke it. No, he didn't break it. It's just been sitting on the weather forever. It's dull. I need to sharpen it. But I don't have time for that right now. Anyway, you do that. That's your point right there. So we have to do a bend at 1 inch, half inch the other direction. So I'll mark that on the other side. Half inch. And that's where it's going to be. For line, this is the line that we cut. Alright, so we have our 1 inch here, half inch. We have to have a half inch coming the other direction. We're going to flip this so we know we have to measure on the right side. Got it at 2 inches. Alright, there are our measurements. Let's go get it bent. Alright, so this is a metal brake. So basically, let me show you the way it works. You clamp it down inside here, the metal, and then this piece folds, and it'll fold right along this edge. So you see when I go to clamp it down, that edge moves. And then when I go to move it, that's what's going to bend it. Our first bend is the one that's the opposite direction. So I have those little chicken tracks on there. I'm going to line it up with that edge right there. I'll get down closer where I can see a little better. There it is. Hey, good morning. It's Tuesday morning, including today. We have 4 days left. We haven't even put paint on. So as you go through and build a car like this, especially if you're going to take it to a show, you got to have a lot of things painted, parts and pieces, just to make them look a little bit better. I'm going to get a little bit of that done this morning. We're going to start painting the transaxle, get that painted in orange. I may even grab the engine, put it up on an engine stand and start getting that starting to be assembled. Gabriel is feverishly working on the car. He's not here yet this morning. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. 4 days left. At this point, I don't think there's any way of us making it, but we're still gonna give it a shot. Hey, finally there's some paint in the air, even if it is just rattle can. Woohoo! And my teachers told me that tagging would never add up to anything. I don't even know if you can see this or not, but we gotta get this prepped. We'll let that dry up and then we'll flip it to where we can get all the mist spots. Alright, we're getting ready to put this on an engine stand so that we can rotate it around, do what we need to do. I'm just going to make it. It's not. Well, that's not good. All right, we got her up in the air. We have her bolted onto the engine stand. I'm gonna let her down, start pulling it apart, get it cleaned up, get some orange paint put on her. We are going to get some surfaces cleaned up so we can get ready to get paint on this thing, make it look a little prettier, and so that our manifold gasket, intake manifold gaskets and exhaust manifold gaskets will seal. All right, ran out of spray paint. Yes, I have some overspray, it's not gonna matter. We're in a hurry. I gotta go get some more paint. We're gonna get this thing all painted up so it'll dry up and we can mess with it over the next couple of days. We are way behind. I think I've said that before.
Poquito más lisa.
All right, so the part we're replicating is this lower panel here. It's got rust in it, as you can see. And so that is what we're replicating. It's slightly larger than what I would like it to be, but I can only, smallest I can bend is a 1/2 inch. This is barely at a 1/2 inch. So we're going to do some cutting, chop this down all the way across out here, and we will get that laid in there and weld it up so that we don't have any rust. We'll get it cleaned up first. Remove this piece because it's full of holes. See, garbage. I'm gonna start welding this up so we can get body work done here and then on the other side, so we can put these in primer. The body's already drying, so that's awesome. But this will enable us to finish up the body work. Gabrielle is working on the chassis, getting that all blown apart so we can flip it over, finish some welding, and start painting. That looks really cool. All right, Gabrielle is getting a piece ready to cut out one last little piece on each of the doors. We have our other panels welded in, and we're going to start body work here on this in about 20 minutes. All right, this is the last piece that we need to weld in. Alrighty, we'll weld her in. Alright, the body's off. Alright, the body's off. Chassis is getting ready to be done. I need to pull the front end off, obviously, so we can paint it. We need to flip the chassis upside down so we can paint it also. But we need to cut and turn the front end to get the front end a little bit higher so that we don't have rubbing problems with the tires. So I got a little bit of welding to do on here. Cut, turn, pop it up, re-weld it. We got to get some paint on the top, paint on the bottom, lots of painting. On top of that, out there in the yard, Gabrielle is going to do some primer so that we can move forward on this girl. Alright, we're going to flip this drill upside down so I can weld on the bottom side of these tabs, and we can paint underneath it. Alright, there's the underneath. I think it looks pretty good. Anyway, I'm going to get some additional welding done, and we're going to paint. Alright, so, you know, we can never leave anything alone. So I got this spray paint can. It was supposed to be awesome, hammer tone finish. It didn't work out. And then I looked, and we had a whole can of silver, but I don't want this frame silver. And then I noticed I have a whole can of black. I don't want the frame black. So we're going to combine the two and see what happens. Hey, I'd like something darker than that and lighter than this. Let's give her a try. Alright, there's the finished paint job on the frame. I don't know if you can see, it's sort of a speckle. It's called hammer tone. I don't know if you can see that or not. Anyway, the thing is sprayed. Let it dry up, start assembling it tomorrow. Alright, Thursday morning. We had a fury of work yesterday. It's going well. I think there are not enough hours in the day. So we have everything primed. We're getting ready to sand it. We're going to shoot it this afternoon about 4 o'clock. That will enable us to get a bunch more work done on it in between now and then. In the middle of putting the engine together, the chassis is all painted. We're going to reassemble that. I have all the brake hardware. I have all the gaskets necessary to put the engine together. That's going to happen today. On top of that, we have to sand the entire car, get it ready for paint, and spray it at 4 o'clock. That will leave us one day to assemble the car, put the interior in, wire it, hopefully get it fired up, and make it move under its own power. So, I don't know if we can make it. But we are going to continue pushing. On top of that, tomorrow is my wife's birthday. But, you have to have your priorities. I'll take my wife to dinner. Anyway, let me show you. We got stuff. It's the middle of the night. Not as early today. I was exhausted. It's 5 o'clock. I'll just show you a little bit what we have laying here in the shop. Alright, you see the doors? They're all primed up and ready to roll. We're going to guide coat it and sand those. Here we have all the fender flares. Gabrielle thought that they were going to be black and the rest of the car blue. I want them the color of the car. If by chance it looks terrible, we'll respray them black. I don't know if you can see out there or not, but right out there is the frame sitting, waiting to be reassembled. And then, possibly you can see right there is the engine sitting on an engine stand. And we have to assemble the supercharger and everything, but I have the gaskets to do that. So the body is out in the yard. We'll bring the body in today so that we can spray it inside here. And then tomorrow morning we will lift it onto the chassis. Hey, it's Friday morning. No, back up. Thursday morning. Don't take a day away from me. Okay, it's Thursday morning. We're getting these doors ready. We're actually going to spray blue today on the doors and the fender flares this morning, and then we're going to let that dry so we can flip them over, and then we're going to shoot everything this evening. But let me show you. In the meantime, while Gabrielle is sanding this stuff and getting it ready, I've been working on the chassis and the engine. So let me show you some of that, and we'll go from there. Alright, you can see I have the front suspension basically in. You got to get that all tightened up. Alright, so you see the intake manifold is permanently on. We have some different pieces on as far as covers for the old fuel pump location. We have the distributor in. We have it located on number 1 cylinder, top dead center. so we know exactly where it is. It's going to be really close on timing. And we have some things down here that I need to get cleaned up and installed. So let me show you that. All right, we're going to remove the old harmonic balancer, and we have to do the black one there, get it all cleaned up with the pulleys behind it, and then we have a cog belt drive that sticks out here. And there's our water pump, semi cleaned up enough of what we need, and we will get that taken care of. And then we have our valve covers that we're messing with over here. It's two different ones, but we're going to use the ones inside. We got to get some paint cleaned off them. Somebody had painted them orange. I didn't like that. So anyway, it's coming along. Will we make it? Don't have any idea. Hey, I want to give a shout out to Rick. The other day on our video, we had said we were having some welding problems, some welder problems. We always have welding problems, but problems with the welder. And I had sold him a yellow Porsche 914, I don't know, probably 10 years ago. And I still had him in my contacts, and apparently he watches our videos. Silly. And he texted me and said, hey, if you're interested, I have a Hobart welder you can just have. He said, I upgraded, I got a different thing, this Hobart works perfectly fine, and it can help you out of a bind, so if you'd like it, you can have it. So I need to give a shout out to Rick. Thank you, man. Not only are you good looking, you're very generous. Thanks. Okay, hey, just want to let you guys know, got the doors painted, got the fender flares painted. They look awesome. I think you saw that with Gabrielle. He did a great job. He's in the middle of sanding the body. I'm doing brakes, I'm doing engine, I'm doing all the chassis work. We're going to spray this thing today. It is Thursday afternoon. It is about 2:27. We're going to start spraying this thing at 4 media, 4 o'clock, 4:30. Man, we got to try and make it. Also, Crazy Rob took some things to his house for me to do some stuff up. His car's not going to make it. He was doing a bubble car, and the bubble got screwed up, and it's too late. So anyway, he came and helped me to mount some taillights. He's going to take care of my valve covers for me. So giddy up. All right, we had plans of changing out the shocks. No time, no money. So we are just dressing them up. We're putting a little bit of flat black paint on them. Anything you paint flat black will not draw your attention to it. So we don't want to look at these ugly old shocks. They're just a spring overrider adjustable shock. I don't know how adjustable they are, but they say they're gas adjust. So anyway, we're just going to put it on there. It'll do what we need it to do. Drive into a car show. In the automotive world, there's a thing called Krylon rebuild. Krylon rebuild is when you just paint something with paint, tell people that it's rebuilt. I won't lie to anybody about the shocks, but that's basically what we're doing here. Now, we did lose one of the pieces of rubber and the little washer on top. I'm sure it's kicking around here somewhere. Let's get some paint in the air. All right, we just finished painting. That tells you how dark it is out here. We had to hold lights so that we'd even be able to see the paint, which attracts bugs. We got a few bugs. We like bugs. Anyway, I don't know if you can see it or not, but and Gabrielle is cleaning it out right now. You can see the shining reflection. Turned out pretty well.
Ya por fin terminamos. Terminamos el baby blue.
Yeah, 8 horas.
8.
It's only 8 o'clock at night. That's an early night for us. Hey, it's Friday morning. We got 1 day left. There's about a 4% chance that we're going to pull this off. We stayed up late last night. We finished, working late last night. We finished painting about 8 or 8:30, and Actually, it looks really, really good. We got a few pieces of dust in it. We got some bugs and stuff that could be easily cut out. But I don't know if there's enough time in this day to get it ready for the show tomorrow. But we are going to still head that direction. So I'm going to show you the paint job. Check it out. All right, there's the driver's side door. You'll notice a nice little bug right there. And when we cut it and sand it, it'll turn out. And here's the body. I don't know if you can even see this, but I'll give you a shot over here pretty quick. That's a pretty color blue. I don't know if you can see it. It's really light blue. It's awesome. Anyway, it turned out really, really well, especially for what we were dealing with. So, let's start getting this thing put together. Not making it. Too much work, but you like the color?
I do.
I think it looks awesome.
I think it looks really good. Where did you paint it at?
Right here.
Seriously?
Yeah. Last night, we finished at 8:30.
Holy mackerel.
Yeah, we painted it right here. Okay. So I'm pulling this old panel out here. We're going to drill some holes. We're going to cut this out where it's vacant back here. We're leaving this here. We're going to get this cleaned up. Anyway, we're going to get this so we can drop our radiator down in there a little bit better. And this looks really ugly, so we're going to fix it. Alright, we're doing a little bit of the textured paint inside the engine bay just to make it look a little bit better. And we're just doing that by brush because that paint that we did, the textured paint, the hammered finish, works really well with the brush too. So we are rocking and rolling. I'm going to jump in here and help. Ouch.
No, volando bajo. ¿Cómo es volando bajo?
Volando.
Fly low.
Okay, so Gabrielle is working on the back brakes. It's important to go fast, but it's even more important to stop. So we're getting our brakes put together so we can try and get this girl to a show. Alright, I am here messing with the harmonic balancer. I got to get this one pulled off, the other one cleaned up, put on. And I had to go buy bolts to do that because somehow I'm missing a bunch of bolts. So anyway, last time we painted, we didn't want the engine getting dirty. So I got a mess here I got to take off like Christmas morning. Let's see if we can get this roll to come off. Not strong enough. I think this one will be. All right, we have the harmonic balancer on. Now this is our spacer and a V-belt drive, so that we're going to run an alternator or whatever you want to run. That's going to go on. And then we have hog belt. And that was setting in the sun, so that makes it very hot. And there you go. Washers. So look at this. Alright, bright orange and a gray background. I think it looks cool. Transmission's in. We're bolting it in right now. Engine's going to go on here in a minute, then body will go on. Alright, we're going to try and set the body. Podemos hacer más tarde, no está haciendo nada. By the way, we didn't make it to the show. For 3 hours we fought with the clutch. All right, I'm gonna give you a quick little rundown. Hopefully you guys can see the color. Everyone keeps asking me if it's gray. It's baby blue. Supercharged small block painted up orange. We have painted the fender extensions, the fender flares. You see there the orange transmission in there. And we got our doors sitting right over here. They're not on yet, but we just ran out of time. That happens sometimes, especially when you're under the gun and too many things and not enough hours. I think it looks really cool down in there. Hey, we didn't make it. The show's gonna be awesome. It would have been better if we were there, but we have a new goal. Good Guys in November. And we're gonna be able to finish it the way we wanna finish it, and it's gonna look great. I hope to see you guys there. Follow us as we thrash again, because that's only 6 weeks away, and we got a long ways, and we still have a long ways to go. We really appreciate you guys coming by and checking out what we do. Tell us what you think of the color. Tell us what you think of the car. We did all right, but we're gonna do better next time. We'll drive it and we'll do wheelies. Hey, thanks for watching.
Todo bien. Ya cansados.
Mucho trabajo, poco dinero.
Poco dinero.